What if I told you that one of the most intimate and instinctual acts of human experience, far from being a mere physical release, actually holds a hidden key? A key capable of unlocking gateways to personal power, inner wisdom, and expansive fulfillment few ever imagined possible. And what if the very energy that so many people unknowingly squander on a daily basis could, if consciously directed, become the most potent source of vitality, mental clarity, magnetic presence, and even spiritual illumination? Since ancient times, the secret traditions, whether Taoist, Tantric, alchemical, or hermetic, have spoken of sexual energy not just as the creator of life, but as the elixir vitae, the sacred fire that animates every cell, renews the brain, and supports the very flow of life force in the human organism. For the Taoist sages, this energy, Jing, the generative essence, was the foundation of health, longevity, and spiritual evolution. Those who mastered their seed, they believed, could master their destiny. In our modern culture, however, sexuality, particularly self-pleasure, has been reduced to a compulsive and mindless act, devoid of purpose or sacredness. Masturbation is often portrayed as a simple stress reliever, a momentary indulgence with little meaning beyond its biological function. Yet, hidden beneath that surface is an ancient practice, forgotten by most, preserved by a few, that transforms this act into a profound ceremony of energetic cultivation. This sacred method, passed down by Taoist adepts like Mantak Chia and practitioners of sexual qigong, is not about suppression or denial. It's about harnessing, refining, and recirculating the sexual force back into the system. It is, in essence, internal alchemy. It's the art of transforming primal desire into a luminous current that nourishes the body, sharpens the mind, and elevates the spirit. To understand this, we must go back to the civilizations that viewed the human being not as fragmented parts, body, mind, soul, but as a unified energetic system. In ancient China, masters observed that seminal fluid was not merely biological material, but a highly concentrated form of life force. They taught that excessive loss of this essence could weaken the body, dull the mind, and shorten one's life. Conversely, when this energy was retained and consciously circulated, especially through the microcosmic orbit, up the spine and through energy centers, it revitalized the organs, nourished the brain, and awakened latent spiritual faculties. Similar ideas echoed through India's tantric lineages. There, sexual energy was known as Shakti, the raw cosmic power. Through sacred practices like Mathuna and Bandhas, energy was drawn upward through the chakras, activating the Kundalini, the coiled serpent at the base of the spine, whose ascent signified illumination and divine union. And this wasn't confined to the East. In medieval Europe, alchemists spoke in symbols, the marriage of sulfur and mercury, masculine and feminine energies, united within the alchemical vessel. Their great work wasn't about turning lead into gold. It was about transmuting the base instincts into spiritual radiance, refining the self into a luminous being. Egyptian priesthoods of Isis and Osiris, too, taught techniques of energetic union, where erotic force was consciously directed to awaken celestial insight and immortality of the soul. What all these traditions share is a profound respect for sexual energy as a sacred current, never to be squandered blindly. Instead of repression, they practiced cultivation. Instead of indulgence, they chose direction and mastery. In today's world, where instant gratification is king, these practices may seem outdated or esoteric. But the truth is, the human energetic system has not changed. Only our relationship to it has. The ancient arts of sexual mastery are more relevant than ever for those seeking wholeness, vitality, and a life aligned with deeper purpose. Let's break it down practically. Think of your body as a generator. The more refined your fuel, the more efficiently your system runs. Sexual energy is your densest and most potent fuel. When released unconsciously, especially through frequent ejaculation, it depletes vital nutrients, weakens the nervous system, and diminishes clarity. But when retained and guided with awareness, it nourishes the brain, heightens perception, strengthens immunity, and fosters emotional balance. This doesn't mean abstinence or suppression. It means alchemy. Through practices like diaphragmatic breathing, pelvic floor engagement, PC muscle contraction, and internal visualization, this energy can be redirected upward, from the genitals to the higher centers, such as the heart and third eye. In Taoist terms, it travels the microcosmic orbit. In Tantric terms, it rises through the Sushumna Nadi, igniting the chakras. The effects are profound: increased vitality, deep calm, improved focus, emotional resilience, magnetism, and even expanded intuition. People who master this art radiate presence. Their energy doesn't leak. It crystallizes, vibrates, and attracts. Sexual energy is not just for pleasure. It's the base material of creation. Not just for creating life outside, but for creating art, ideas, healing, abundance, life inside. This is why many great artists, inventors, and mystics sublimated their sexual energy. Not to repress it, but to channel it into creation. The key is intention and attention. When self-pleasure is approached with mindfulness, breath, and internal visualization, it becomes sacred. The goal is not to chase orgasm, but to circulate the energy. Feel it move. Feel it feed your organs. Feel it expand your aura. Over time, this builds a reserve of refined energy, called Shen in Taoism, or spiritual energy. This becomes your spiritual currency, fueling your purpose, enhancing your charisma, and connecting you to your higher self. To begin, here are 4 practical steps. Breathe deeply. When arousal arises, slow down. Inhale through the nose, imagining the energy rising up the spine. Exhale through the mouth, softening tension. Engage the root lock. Gently contract the pelvic floor, the same muscle used to stop urination. This lifts the energy upwards and strengthens your foundation. Visualize ascension. Imagine a golden or white light traveling from your base to your heart or crown. Let intention guide the current. What do you wish to cultivate? Clarity, healing, creativity. Balance, not rigidity. This is not about obsession or guilt. If a release feels necessary, let it happen consciously, lovingly, without shame. Energy thrives on flow, not repression. In time, you'll feel the difference, not just physically, but energetically. Your presence will deepen, your thoughts will sharpen, your emotions will stabilize. You'll radiate power, not from dominance, but from coherence. And that coherence will ripple into every corner of your life. Remember, your body is the philosopher's stone. Your breath is the flame. Your awareness is the crucible. And your sexual energy is the sacred mercury awaiting refinement. We've only scratched the surface of this sacred science. But what matters now is not more theory, it's practice. Start where you are. Breathe, feel, cultivate. You are the alchemist. And the path of internal mastery begins now.